Cancer and Aquarius sexual and intimacy compatibility. A sexual relationship between Cancer and Aquarius can be stressful for both partners. Although Cancer is considered the most sensitive sign of the zodiac, governed by the moon, they can be quite rough and distant when they feel the need to set strong boundaries. Aquarius, on the other hand, is known as an innovator, someone to make the change, but in fact, they are a fixed sign, pretty set in their ways and as a paradox unchangeable. When they engage in sexual activity, Cancer could be so stressed that they will have to set those boundaries, and Aquarius will not be able to make the needed change to be gentler to their Cancer partner. There is too much energy in Aquarius that needs to be grounded through their physical activity, and this includes sex. Cancer doesn't really understand this and is convinced that in sexual relations with someone you love only emotions should be shared. If Aquarius finds a way to slow down and not force anything on their partner, and if Cancer allows their rational mind to take over for some of the time they spend together, they might share an exciting sexual experience. Cancer will bring emotions and tenderness to their sex life, and Aquarius won't ever let boring routine take over. If they compromise on experimenting and emotional exchange, they could even start having fun. 1%. Cancer and Aquarius trust. Cancer is usually loyal and honest, except in situations when they are scared of the aggressive reaction of their loved one, or of hurting them badly. With Aquarius, they might feel stressed to share things, and this could present a both-way issue when it comes to trust. The liberal nature of Aquarius could seem crazy to a Cancer, and their partner's honesty about their craziness won't help the inner feeling of mistrust for their possible actions. It is a complicated thing for them, because none of them wants to lie, but still they don't seem to trust the future they might share. 35%. Cancer and Aquarius communication and intellect. Cancer and Aquarius are able to join forces in intellectual activity. The mind of a Cancer is sensitive enough to pay attention to details and interpersonal relationships when Aquarius fails to do so. They could make grand ideas come true, especially those that need a lot of people involved on their way to become real. However, they might have trouble talking to one another in the same tone or understanding each other in the first place. Cancer is ruled by the moon, the fastest heavenly body in the sky, but they are not fast to recognize what hides behind Aquarius words. There is difficulty for Aquarius to express their inner state, and this is something Cancer has trouble understanding. The best beginning of their relationship is guaranteed if Aquarius sees their Cancer partner as a weird human being that needs to be examined. This will allow them both enough space to get to know each other well, and this could influence all other areas of their relationship. If this happens, Aquarius will approach those strange activities Cancer needs as if they weren't ordinary at all. After all, not everyone can drink a morning coffee in total silence with their partner and enjoy this silence as much as these partners can. 55%. Cancer and Aquarius emotions. The unconventional nature of Aquarius interferes with Cancer's need to stay in a peaceful environment, and this is something they will find hardest to reconcile. That homey, cozy feeling Cancer needs can be deeply disturbed by the rebellious air sign of Aquarius. They will bring stress and too much information in their life, and speed that cannot be handled by a subtle state of deep empathy Cancer has to live with daily. The way they show love is very different, but it can be wonderfully focused on their kids and the family they build if they get to this point. There is no sign in the zodiac predestined for a family life such as Cancer. In a relationship with Aquarius, they would take over the most of everyday activities and responsibilities. In return, their children would get a childhood without boundaries and a life of free choices that no other couple can give. This is a consequence of the difference between them and the tolerance they have to build in order to stay together. When they do fall in love, they will not be so quick to end their relationship. Aquarius will approach it as a kind of challenge and understand the stability and love they get from this partner. Cancer will realize that they have never been this free to actually be themselves. Instead of living in a symbiotic relationship they are easily sucked into. Once they form a strong bond, it will be very hard for both of them to let it go. 50%. Cancer and Aquarius values. Cancer values knowledge almost as much as Aquarius values information. This is a fine connection between their worlds, and if it is nurtured it could be just enough for them not to be set apart by other values they hold on to. Cancer does value stability, intimacy, and family, while Aquarius values their freedom, intellect, and new technology. There is a difference between their worlds that might seem impossible to overcome, but if they hold on to their love of distances and travel, or if they learn together, they could easily get over the fact that their values on other things differ so much. 10%. Cancer and Aquarius shared activities. While Cancer will want to stay at home, go for a picnic in the park or to a furniture store, Aquarius will look for the highest skyscraper, wish for a new laptop and read anything that falls into their hands. The key activity that could truly connect them is travel. Although Cancer seems homey and unmovable, this is not exactly true. Due to the fact that it is a sign of Jupiter's exaltation, they will want to travel far. Aquarius will always want to board a plane, and it would be perfect if they could parachute to a location where Cancer would safely land in a Boeing 747. 25%. Summary. We could say that Cancer and Aquarius are not your usual happy couple in most cases. Their relationship can be too stressful for Cancer partner, and the lack of intimacy will most probably tear them apart. However, the link between them can actually be wonderful when found, and they could open up such interesting new perspectives for one another if this happens. They both want to learn new things and could travel far if a strong base is made at home, so Cancer can remain peaceful. For this couple to move in a positive direction, Aquarius needs to understand how unusual their partner is, and try to experiment on being homey while having fun. Cancer will have to take over the main set of responsibilities to hold on to the idea of their home as a base from which they can move wherever they want. In the end, Cancer might discover an unbelievable joy of freedom, and Aquarius might develop closeness. If these partners can be silent together, sipping on their morning coffee, this is in most cases the first step to success. 31%.